war, and Russia is rushing to send more troops to the Kursk region after Ukraine's surprise incursion. It's putting pressure on the Kremlin after questions were raised about the failure to act on intelligence reports that Ukrainian armed forces were preparing to attack 48 hours before the assault. Let's speak to Catherine Belton. She reports on Russia for the Washington Post and is the author of an excellent book called Putin's People, which is proudly on my shelf. Catherine, thank you for joining us on Times Radio. I just wondered what the latest you're hearing is about this incursion.
Hey, thanks for having me on. It seems that Russia is continuing to try to rush troops to that border area. They still haven't got enough troops there. They've managed, apparently, according to the Russian military bloggers, to stop Ukraine from advancing any further. But that's not really having any impact on the positions that they've already taken. And some Russian analysts are estimating that the Ukrainians have already taken 100 square miles of Russian territory in Kursk. And if Russia isn't able to divert troops, which are currently deep in Ukraine, back to its own country, then essentially the Ukrainians will have a few more days to dig in their defenses, and that's going to make it very hard for Russia to dislodge them.
Clearly, this has taken Putin by complete surprise. What does he do now? How does he react, both militarily? You've talked a little bit about that, but certainly politically as well.
I think we don't know. Obviously, this is a very tricky situation. Putin doesn't react very well to pressure. Sometimes he just disappears off into isolation because he doesn't quite know how to react. I think we've already seen one lashing out, one response yesterday. There was a missile strike on a supermarket in Ukraine, in Konstantinovka, which has already killed 14 people and left dozens more injured. So I think we're likely to see lots more missile strikes, but that doesn't mean that he's solved the issue of the fact that Ukrainians have taken a chunk of his own territory, and it's going to take quite a long time to get enough Russian troops to that area that the Ukrainians have taken to encircle them or oust them from that region. And the longer time it takes, the more time the Ukrainians have to dig in their fortifications. And what this war has shown is that it's very much a war in which the defenders have the advantage, because even though Russia has superior air power, has much more forces, many more troops, it's been advancing quite slowly in the areas of Ukraine where Ukraine has good defenses. So I think this could go on for quite some time, and it's potentially very, very embarrassing for Putin.
Certainly embarrassing, and you mentioned the length of time there as well. I mean, we were told 2.5 years ago, or the expectation was from Russia anyway, that this full-scale invasion of Ukraine was supposed to be a short, sharp military operation. It is clearly not that. This will probably elongate things. I wonder what your impression is of that. And is there any sense of any chink of light for peace?
This is potentially a very, if Ukraine is able to hold on to the positions that it's taken in the Kursk region, then it potentially provides them with a very powerful bargaining chip. Should there be any peace talks, they can say, well, you can have your piece of Russian territory back if we get, say, our territory back in the Kharkiv region or something like that, because till now, Putin had been insisting that any solution to the conflict would take into account, as he calls them, the facts on the ground, sort of where the current front line is. And now that that front line has moved inside Russian territory itself, it means the Ukrainians have won themselves a bargaining chip, but it all depends on how long they can hold on to it.
Guarda